Hello, we're here at Somerset Live offices. I'm Josh Fordham, and here with me is Stephen Dalbiak, our sports editor. Now, it's a big day at Yeovil Town. We've got Harry Redknapp, who is coming in to have a chat with Darren Way and the players. Also, he revealed on in an interview with BBC Somerset yesterday. So, Stephen, what is Harry Redknapp doing at Yeovil Town today?
Well, basically, the agreement that we understand is in place is that Harry Redknapp will come and help Darren Way in an advisory role. So it won't be an official role, it won't be a permanent full-time role at the club, but mainly what Harry said he wants to do is he wants to come in and offer some advice to Darren Way. Darren Way's embraced that. He offered Redknapp the opportunity to come and work with him. So what we expect is we'll see him there maybe sort of 1 or 2 days a week and attending some matches as well. I think that's the plan, and so at the moment it's premature to say that there's any kind of agreement. It certainly isn't the case that Redknapp's going to be involved in a hands-on coaching role or really an official role at the club, but it's but he's going to be there for Darren Way to lean on for advice and guidance, which when you consider Way's still only just under 2 years into management, he's still a young manager. I think it's a good move in that respect.
Yeah, and he stressed this morning on TalkSport that it's not a full-time agreement. He's not getting back into like a full-time job. He is just going to be helping out. I think Darren Way came out and said that he contacted Harry after he read some quotes saying that he was looking to help out a young manager, and it looks like that's come to fruition for Darren. And so what sort of impact do you think that it will have on Yeovil Town and Darren Way?
Well, in terms of the impact it will have on the squad, it's difficult to say exactly what it is until we've seen Redknapp in a few times, in for a couple of weeks maybe, and seen him. Whether he will have any impact, he certainly won't have a hands-on role. He won't be involved in picking the team. He won't be involved in team talks or anything like that. But I think just from a wider point of view, to have somebody like Harry Redknapp associated with the club, even if not in an official capacity, even just in a semi-official way, it's something that can be a positive for the club. You know, it connects his name with Yeovil Town. He's a well-known figure in the football world. So from that point of view, it's something which can give a bit of a buzz to Yeovil. It will inject some good publicity for the club, which when you look at the results, and there is sort of that element of disappointment for the way results have been over the last 12 months. I think it's a really good boost, and it's something which can only really, from my point of view at the moment, be viewed as a positive in that respect.
Yeah, and you wrote a good sort of opinion piece this week saying completely agree with your opinion that it's a win-win situation for Yeovil. The fact that someone is coming in with sort of 1,400 games experience, he's managing the Premier League, he's sort of won trophies. So yeah, you can't see how there's going to be any negatives for Yeovil Town. I mean, like you said, he's not going to be choosing the team. He's not going to have that sort of role. It's just going to be in an advisory capacity. And yeah, I'm sure fans can't wait really. What has the reaction been like that you've seen from fans so far?
There's been a mixture. There's obviously a lot of people very positive, very happy about it. It's exciting to see a name like Harry Redknapp associated with the club. There are a few people who are a bit more sceptical and maybe have that fear that he could become involved in first team matters. There's always been talk maybe about the finances and that kind of thing, and whether he'll be involved in that at all, but everything we've heard so far suggests that won't be a case, and I don't think there's anything to worry about in that respect. He's not going to be coming in buying players, he's not going to be influencing first team matters. So from that point of view, he's there merely as a figurehead, somebody that Darren can rely on for advice, can speak to, can just learn some of the more sort of intricate aspects of the game that maybe only comes with the experience that somebody like Harry Redknapp has. I mean, it's very easy from a logical point of view to say that managing a football club, that this is how it should be done, but I think it's like any job. If you haven't got the experience, and you haven't been in the game for years, then there are always things to learn and always things that you can pick up on. And for Darren to have somebody like Harry Redknapp there who he can lean on for that advice can only be invaluable for him going forward.
Yeah, absolutely. And so there's the pre-match press conference today at 1 o'clock at Yeovil Town. You'll be you'll be there covering that. We've got a live blog running today as well, with news from that conference and sort of what Harry's been there. So what are we hoping to find out at the press conference today?
Well, it'd be a good opportunity to speak to Darren, obviously, about what he envisages Harry Redknapp's role to be going forward. I'm sure he'll be happy to talk about that. He was happy to invite him to join the club and come see what's going on at the moment and the current situation. So that will be an interesting thing. It'd be interesting to hear what Darren has planned going forward into the Newport game. As you may or may not know, it's Darren's 100th game in charge of Yeovil this weekend, so it is a bit of a milestone there. So I'm sure he'll be, reflecting on that, and also the challenge that Newport will face, because they're a team that have started the season well, but are probably in a higher position than many people thought. So it's probably going to be a tricky game for Yeovil, but I'm sure that it's one that will be a lot of preparation going on, and as it's probably one of the more local away games for the club, I think you'd like to think there'll be quite a large travelling support there on Saturday. So I think in terms of the week that's been and the week ahead, I think it's quite an exciting week for the club.
Yeah, so I just wanted to ask you, as a lifelong Yeovil Town fan, did you ever think that Harry Redknapp would be involved in the club in some way?
I think it's one of those things, you maybe joke about it, you maybe joke that that any of these big figures could be involved. I think from a point of view, I think if you told me even a week ago that Harry Redknapp would be involved with Yeovil Town in any capacity, I wouldn't have believed you. I think it's certainly something that's grabbed headlines, but it's something that's exciting, and even if it only turns out to be a short-term thing, I'm sure just for the fact that Redknapp has visited the club today and been able to speak to Darren Way and speak to the players, I mean, that in itself is something that can only have a positive impact on the club. So I think it's an exciting time. Maybe not what a lot of people expected, but I'm sure that good things will come of it.
Yeah, I think especially with the way the results have been recently, fans want something to change, and this maybe will be that change. It might sort of inject a bit of a spark and be that sort of difference that turns the season into sort of a more positive one.
Yeah, that's it. I think it's it's not just this season. I think if you go back through the last 3 or 4 years, I think results have gradually been on a downward curve. If you consider any club that goes from the Championship to League Two in the time that Yeovil have, it's going to be disappointing, and there's going to be a lot of fans frustrated and fed up by that. I think it's a breath of fresh air just to have somebody like Harry Redknapp, helping out at the club. It's something which can only be a good thing in the short term, and hopefully that does bring a spark. And I'm sure that if it's confirmed that Harry will be at the Crewe game at home next Saturday, I'm sure that will at least bring in a few more fans. It may not, it's not going to sell out Hewish Park all of a sudden, but certainly just to even have a couple more 100 fans there in the short term, it's a move in the right direction from a publicity point of view. It gets Yeovil talked about on a national scale, which is always good. I'm sure there's a lot of media interest around Harry Redknapp. There's a lot of fan interest around Harry Redknapp. So it's an unexpected move, no doubt, but I think it's a good one. And I think if you look at the only real downside to it is that if it doesn't work out, then Redknapp will probably just walk away, and the club and him will go their separate ways, and no harm done. So
yeah,
I think it really is a no-lose situation at the moment from that point of view.
Yeah, and in his BBC Somerset interview, he said that he's never tried cider before. What do you think of that?
I think he's probably going to have to if he wants to fit in down here. I think just aside, I think it's it's just one of those things. I guess that it might seem strange to us, have it on tap here, but I know sort of from having lived away from the area for some time that it can be hard to find a decent cider outside of Somerset. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt on that one.
I remember when I first moved to around the area, went to a pub, ordered a pint of lager. Thought I'd get lynched because I didn't know what a cider. He also said he might be turning up at Wincanton Racecourse at some point. But no, thanks very much for watching all of those who have been listening to us. Do check out the Somerset Live website for all the latest news on Harry Redknapp's role at Yeovil Town, and also for the latest Yeovil Town news. Thanks very much for watching.
Thank you.